Welcome, everyone. We are live and direct. That's what you call it in the Caribbean. But for all of the lectures we've been coming across every night, the key is to test, 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 test. Which means when you do a thing, you're practicing these things. That is what it means to test it. Test it. What are you testing exactly? You're testing your own mental power. The all is mind. The universe is mental. And over again, we are told how to test it. We test it by first knowing what we want. You have to know what it is that you want. And as Neville says, we live in the world of Caesar and bills must be paid. So test it with that. Test it with that. What can you bring about? So when you know what you want, you get inside your imagination and you start to play around with all the best case scenarios. He says, well, who's going to talk about you? Who's going to have something to say about you? Who's going to, what's your friends? What are they going to behave like? What are you going to behave like? So you start getting in there, and I told you before, making believe. You're making yourself believe. And so when you do that, one of those things will feel most natural to you. And when it does, that's the thing you rehearse. Because it feels the most, that's the thing you're going to do right there and right then. As soon as this thing happens and unfolds and you have it, what would it be like if you had it? That is the thing that you will do. It's the thing you rehearse. You see, we keep getting hung up on this part that says, but what if it's not possible? Or how long it's going to take? Let that go. How do you let that go? You see, the curiosity to know what you are capable of doing is enough to let it go. You don't let it go by fighting it, you let it go by embracing the other side, the other thing of polarity. That's how you release it, that's how you let it go. By just totally engrossing yourself, being wrapped up in the thing that you want to create. And you already know what it is that you want to create. And you know what the evidence of it will be, which is the way you're going to act and behave. That short scene that you're going to rehearse. And now you have to believe in it. This is what he says last night. Believe in the thing that you've created now. Believe in it. Why? Well, it's the fruit of your loins. It's your fruit. Believe in it. Because when you believe in it, now there's your power. And when we're testing it, knowing what you want and then creating that scene, now you'll stop telling yourself, but I just don't see how it can happen. The how is not up to you. Our exercise for today is to practice being like children, curious, eager to know, well, what if I do this? What would happen if I do this? What would happen if I have this kind of a scene? Right? Your curiosity. But what they try and tell you as children, curiosity killed the cat. But what's the other side? Satisfaction brought it back. Be curious enough to relinquish the fear and the worry of, I don't know how it's going to happen. What if? What if I can't do it? No. What if you can do it? How are you supposed to know what you are capable of mentally if you don't test? You must test it, right? Don't test it from a place of fear, but would it? No. Test it from a place of curiosity. Remember the state, the mental state that you're in. So when you test it from a place of curiosity, you say, okay, look, I know the law now. I know as above, so below, as within, so without. I know the seed that I have chosen. So because I know that, you rub your hands together. Let's get her done. And you become eager and excited to do it, to test it out. Don't worry about who you think is going to laugh at you. Let me tell you something. Like the little black girl says, let me tell you something, Linda. Let them laugh. Use that as part of your scene. If you may, use it. They're going to laugh at you. Well, let them laugh. You know why? Because they'll only laugh in the beginning. Because when it unfolds and you do it, they're going to be the first ones to say, oh, what did you do? Well, show me how to do that. That was awesome. Uh-huh. So, allow yourself today to be driven, or as the word Neville Goddard used, impelled, because to compel is to move from the outside by force. To impel is to move from the inside by inspiration. To know. So what's going to drive you today in your curiosity, your eagerness to grasp what you are capable of doing? That is your exercise today. Testing. Is this thing on? It doesn't just work for microphones. It works for your skill. This is why when you are in karate and you have to do the test for your belt to see what color belt you get. But this is why. In order to know and to grasp what you comprehend, you must test yourself. You have to. How else are you going to know?
And I'll speak on this point, right?
Yes.
So I was very, into wanting my son to be homeschooled, right? And one of my great uncle was like, don't homeschool him. He's not gonna know how to compete. And at first, I was like, man, listen, don't tell me how to take care of my son. But I didn't say anything back. I just listened and I thought about it. And I said, if I'm teaching my son all this stuff about the power of his mind and about all this, giving him all this wisdom and telling him he's a wolf and don't fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to send him out to the school and let him test it. and trust me, he has proven that Christ is in him.
There you go. See? Test it. Because now Marquise's son knows what he's capable of doing. He's putting to the test what he learns. As Daddy always says, well, charity begins at home. Right? This is why it is so important for us to test what we have learned. Take the water of knowledge and create the wine of experience. Because this is the first rung on the ladder, dare I say. Because that's why so much time and effort has gone into removing this foundation from the rest of the world. Because if you know this foundation of the law and you build upon it, right? What do you do with the foundation? Yeah, you build something. So what are you building? But you won't know until you test what it is that you are learning. So your exercise today is to test it by, as Neville said, Caesar, the world of Caesar. Caesar is built on money. Pay Caesar his due. So what is it in the world of Caesar that you need to create? You want to do it. Because if you change your state from a place of fear and worry of how am I gonna get through, if you change from there to, oh, the world is what? It bends and shapes to me? Oh, well, how can I mold it and shape it? Well, I have to get that thing in my mind first. The scene that you create, that is how it will bend and shape itself to you by way of the scene that you create, that you rehearse. Think about the dancer who's dancing in front of the mirror, right? They're learning the moves, but they have to do the moves to watch themselves do the moves so that they can know what the rest of the world is going to see. And then they'll know how the world bends to that. Because, listen, they do that real incredible dance move. The crowd goes wild. Rah! But they're not going to know that the crowd is going to go wild until they practice it in front of the mirror. So they can see it for themselves over and over and over again. They rehearse. So you rehearse just like the dancer. What's the dance move? Or what are the words you're going to say? What are you going to do? What comes naturally that you're going to create that scene from? And get that scene in your mind's eye and rehearse it. It's just like if you were practicing your Oscar winning speech. Do you want to get up? Listen, think about it. You're going to be nervous anyway, but you want to get up and be nervous and not know what to say? You want to be, oh my God. No. So rehearse what you are going to say. And the more you rehearse it, the more you are moved by it. You're pumped up. You're just, you hit your chest and you go, yeah. That's what you do. So get past this. Well, I don't know how. That's not your job. Your job is to create the scene, to mold the clay. So that when you pop it in the oven, funny phrase, when you pop it in the kiln, that is the oven of the potter. You cure it by fire, which is the test. So that it holds its shape for you. That's why you test it. To get a sense of who and what you are and what you are capable of. Because we think necessarily the fire's the trial by fire. We use that, but the potter does it as well. But the fire holds the shape. It solidifies or crystallizes the shape. And when you temper steel, again, heat is required. What's the heat? Testing is the heat. So today, my beautiful friends, your exercise, should you choose to accept it, is to test yourself. What am I capable of? Get that curiosity in you. Stir it up because it is there. Test it. What do I want to create today? What do I want to create? All right, let me get the scene. And how do you build the scene? You build the scene naturally. How? Neville Goddard gives you a whole bunch of examples. Are you? Oh my God, who did I think they are? Or will they say something like, I remember when that person used to struggle all the time. Man, I remember there wasn't a week that went by that somebody didn't ask me for money. This person didn't ask me for money. I remember that. And now they see you and you're the one giving out money. Can you see the look on their face? Right? Can you see that look on their face? Right? So when you see that look on their face, how does that make you feel? It makes you feel and you go, yeah, that's me. I did that. I give now. I don't ask anymore. I give. Yeah, I give. Or what else can you overhear? You walk by the lunchroom and they say, "Oh my God, they've been working here for so long and training people for so long. Good for them that they got that promotion. Yeah, they got that corner office. Good for them." And when you walk by and you overhear that, you go, "Yeah."
You know what, Angela? It's
Tell
as
me.
simple as saying, I need the rent and I need that rent.
Yes.
Totally different things. Like, hey, I need y'all to pay me that rent versus I need to pay my rent.
There you go, right? Command it. You are commanding it. Think of yourself. I know when I say this word, you may clutch your pearls or you may think, "What?" But think about it for a moment. The magician. Hmm? The magician. He stands there and he waves his hands as if he is bringing all of these components together that is unseen. We can't see what he's doing. We can't see it at all. But he sees what he is doing. The potter is also a magician because he is molding and bending and shaping the clay. We can't see what he's shaping just yet, but the movement of his hands, we know he's doing something. So for you, if you're one of those tactile people who's got a touch, well, begin to move your hands as if you're touching, and a sprinkle of this, a dash of that. You know how they tell you in Shakespeare, the eye of Newt. You're the magician. You are building this thing from the unseen. Is where you're building it, which is your mind's eye. So then you begin to hear those people talking about you and your now greatness that they are now jealous or envious of. Now you're saying, "Yes, I'll take a sprinkle of that jealousy. I'll take a sprinkle of that envy. Oh, I will take a sprinkle of all of it because it tells me who and what I am and what I have accomplished." That's what you are doing. It
Hey,
looks
listen,
Mhm.
like Eddie Murphy said on Vampire in Brooklyn, he said, good is evil.
Right, right, because this is the thing they want to tell you something different, right? To somehow discourage you from testing it. I want you now in your level of curiosity. When Shakespeare says, "The lady doth protest too much," that is your cue. Wait, you telling me that this thing is wrong? You're trying to tell me that I don't have value? You're trying to tell me that I'm not good enough? Why?
The whole time projecting everything that they feel about themselves onto you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they. That's what kills me. Like you'll find your own family members, the closest people to you, trying that. Like, hey, I'm getting ready to. You tell them like, yeah, I'm getting ready to start this business. And do that. They be like, man, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna work. This is it. They thinking about what they've never picked up an object or did a service or anything. That's all they. That's all that is. And it bothers me that people be that comfortable to rebuild themselves to you like that.
Because the thing though about it, it's so beautiful. Even if I think about you trying to discourage me in my imagination, I can tether that to me getting the goal accomplished and watching you. That's why I say I love my haters.
Yes. They're not a stepping stone to you. A stumbling block, sorry. They're a stepping stone. They're not a stumbling block. When they make fun of you, that's not a stumbling block at all.
Well, I think I figured it out though. It's more like when you think about close proximity, when you think about friends and family members, and you think about your life being one big tall glass of clear water, right? And then these other people come to you with this negative energy. Their glass is full of like brown tainted water.
Yep.
They're trying to push their water into your glass, and you're like, oh, nah, I'm staying my distance. because I don't want my water mixing with yours.
There you got it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it harder for friends and family. Somebody you don't know, it's easy not to mix your water with theirs. But when it comes down to the family and the friends, you trust them. You look up to some of them. You want some validation from some of them. And that's where a lot of the issues come in.
Hey, Coach, you know what they said? Cut your hand off to make you sin. So what you think you're supposed to do to your family?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. See it? That's exactly what it is. I'm loving this discourse. Or, yeah, that's what it's called, discourse. Oh, Cyber, I gotta read this. You said, I'm confident it will fade. You're confident it will fade, or has it faded, Cyber? You see, one of the things that you can use here, I don't know if you've ever listened to any of the great orators, you know, Maya Angelou, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, huh? When they got up on that at that podium and they spoke in a very measured tone, which means they didn't rush their words to get them out. It means they heard their words first and then they spoke. So it may seem like, oh my God, they're taking so long to talk. No. So for you, begin in your imagination by using words in a measured way. Take your time as you speak. Take your time as you speak. And you say each word, articulate every word, pronounce every word, enunciate every word. Why? Because you believe in what you are saying. That, take your time with it and rehearse it in your mind's eye. That's what you do with it. Don't hear the stammer. Feel the smoothness and the fluidity of every word that you speak. Reason being, in traditional Chinese medicine, the stammer is the tip of the tongue, which shows you the heart. It's the heart. It is the heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So now you have to ask yourself this question. What is it that I am possibly afraid of? Then I speak. And when you answer that question, you'll speak in such a way, it'll just pour out of you. You see, because as above, so below. Put it together. As above, so below. As within, so without. There is a fear there that has bound you. Well, then release that fear. Release it. It has no power over you. And if you go back, you will find the impetus. You will find the actual root cause. Somebody said something to you or implied something to you when you spoke for the first time anywhere. And because they did that in such a disparaging way, it left an impression. And the impression is what you stumble over every single time. So what did the lady with the hip and leg pain do? Remember when she went to Neville and she was having this horrible pain in her legs and hips. Doctors could do nothing because they've done everything. Nothing, and they couldn't find the cause. But she remembered the cause. She was on the swing as a little girl and she landed funny. And she was sick with a fever for 2 days after that. So she went back into her imagination after she remembered that scene from the swing when she fell. So she went back in there and she got on that sling in her imagination, and she swung and she landed, swung and she landed over and over and over again, because when she landed, she didn't land the way she wanted to. She didn't land properly. So she had to practice being on the swing mentally over and over and over again until she stuck her landing. And when she stuck her landing within her imagination, she ran and called her mother. In her imagination. And she did the landing for her mother. And at that very moment that she landed perfectly in front of her mother on that swing, in her imagination, she got up. I think it was within either 24 or 48 hours. There was no more pain. Not one. And the doctors were like, well, we don't know what happened. We just know you came in here in pain, and now you came back and you don't have the problem anymore. You see, this is why the art of revision is so important. I'm still talking to you, Cyber, by the way. That's why the art of revision is so important. So go back in your mind's eye, in your memories, and find it, because you know it is there. And when you find it, just like she did on the swing, speak over and over and over and over again until you speak perfectly. Period. I dare you. I dare you. It is revision. I'll wait. Don't worry. I'll wait for you to tell me, because I know what you'll say. But today, my beautiful friends, you see, this is how we create. We get up and we know what it is that we want, whether it is material, or it is something emotional, or it is something spiritual. It all has its origin within the mind. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. And it is your job, it is my job to practice. Practice. What do we hear? Practice makes perfect. Practice is showing you. Right? That's what it's doing. So allow your curiosity to be aroused today, so you can wonder, what am I capable of? Because we're so quick to say, I can't do that. We're so quick to say that. However, if you practice, what am I capable of? Let me see. Start there, and you will go rather far. That's the key. That's the key. So practice. Test yourself. And if you don't remember how to do it, step one, know what it is that you want. Don't try and justify it. Oh, but I need it in my life. I need you in my life. No, we're not 112 in it today. Know what you want.
I say you better sing
that. Right? Know what it is that you want. And when you know, create a small scene that confirms it for you. You see, that small scene that you use to confirm is telling you, okay, I've got it, and here's my evidence. The scene. And be like the dancer in the mirror. That's why you're not visualizing. You are rehearsing. You are in the mirror, but you're watching yourself do the action. And when you are doing the action will make you feel a particular way. And when Neville says to catch the mood, that's twofold. It has two parts. You see, when you know a thing, how do you feel when you know something? You know it. You're like, oh, I know that. There's a sense of confidence. There's a sense of knowing it. This is why when you choose that scene, when you go through all of the best case scenarios, because what do you do when you go through the worst case scenarios? You're picking through all the things you know, because why? You've heard them a million times. Well, you know that that's not possible. You know, if you don't have any money, if you don't have any connections, you know that because you've heard it a gajillion times and you've seen the evidence of it. But if you go through the best case scenarios, one of them will strike a chord in you. And you say, yes, I know that. I know it. So that's the one you rehearse, the one that you know. Because, like I said, if you know you got that friend who's always like, why you always got to think so big? Why you always got to do that? Why you always got to try and show everybody up? You got one of them friends. See, you know you have one of them friends. So create the scene from there because you know how that friend will behave. And because you know how that friend will behave, you've caught the mood. And now that you've caught the mood, rehearse it because you know what they're going to say. And lose yourself. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment, right? Lose yourself in it. Let it consume you because you know how they're going to behave. And then what? Watch what happens. They'll say it to you. And why will they say it? Because you have accomplished what it is you set out to do. See? Do what it is because it comes natural. That is where I will leave you this morning. And Cyber, you can always hit me up on Discord. You can always hit me up on Discord. Anyway, let me get the ball because I am fired up this morning. I don't know about y'all. I'm fired up this morning.
Listen, I'm so fired up. I got my mom just been going with me to the gym, and today my stepdad came. I mean, we are really fired up. I think all this in my mind, and now it's happening.
There you have it. You see, and all you got to do with that image in your mind, that scene that you are rehearsing, is to persist in seeing it within your mind's eye. And clearly it was only a matter of time for him to show up, Marquis. Because you held it in your mind. And you rehearsed it, and you knew. And you didn't fret. Oh, look, another day and he's not come with us. Ugh, another day and he's not come with us. You didn't do that. You saw it and you said, this is where he is. Hey, coach. Let me take a moment to welcome everybody because I haven't done that yet. And here I am trying to get the ball. Get ahead of myself. Lord have mercy. Tonyo, V22, I see you. Or V224, I see you. And Coach, you guys are all here in Twitter this morning. And I know Lilith will be part of the replay gang. I know, because she's probably taking that sweet baby to school. Who's here on YouTube and Facebook? I can't see who's on Facebook because they haven't identified themselves. And I know that Indy is over on Fanbase. So, hello, Cyber. Armani. Hello. Welcome to the space, Armani. Anot, Asanya, Sugar Visions, and I'm going to say Jeff. Because I know you're in there. I know you're in there. Empress Ella, I haven't said her name in a while. And I did not say the better man yet this morning. So he will probably be part of the replay gang. And that's all right. Well, see, you're the better man on Fanbase.
I like to be in two places at once.
There you have it.
Better man.
There you go, right? That's everybody on YouTube. Good morning. Hey, that's Indy, my thick. Yes, honey. See, there she is. Oh, look at that. Hey, Shea Butter. So who's here on Fanbase this morning? We got KZ, we got Thick in the house, Stephanie, Comrade, Flo Smiles, L, Joaquin, Marquise, Coach, Oracle Treehouse, Zola. And I did see Summer Rose. I did see her this morning. But anyhow, it is beautiful to be in the same space as all of you, because where two or more are gathered in my name, what's my name? I am. There I am in the midst. What's in the midst of you? The thing you're creating. But don't let me preach. Let me get the ball though, because it's a good day. A mighty good day. Good day. It is a good day to praise the Lord. Yeah, that took me back to church.
Not the last part.
Right. That's the part. It took me all the way back to church. I tell you, you can take the girl out of church, but you can't take church out of the girl. Right? Because that's where Jesus is, and wherever Jesus is, that's where church is. Because it's the temple. Whew, I digress. Let me get the ball, y'all. Let me get the ball.
Coach, check your DM.
Did you hear that, Coach? Check your DMs. M. Jeannie, darling. I see you. Let me line this bowl up, y'all. Here we go.
Will do.
Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tonyo and Coach and the 22-4. Thank you all for being here on Twitter this morning. Much love to you all. Twitter is closed. Shea Butter, Cyber, Armani, Anot, Asanya, Sugar Visions, Jeff, and all the others who have not made themselves known, thank you for being here on YouTube and Facebook this morning. Much love to you all. You know I'll see you tonight. Oh, yes, indeed, I shall. What are we reading tonight? I don't remember, but I know it's already in there. It's in the upcoming videos for tonight on my YouTube channel. So I'll see you tonight, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much love, YouTube and Facebook.